Nothingness, I guess. I don't know.
I
We'll
guess.
figure it out.
Hello,
Hello?
hello, what's up, bro?
Hey, it's the What's Up Bro podcast. We talk movies, sports, TV shows, pop culture, and it's funny, motherfuckers. With nary signs. I'm like, what? How can this... They have Photoshop. Photoshop exists when this artist rendition was done. How the fuck is this not cooler looking than a sketch that looks like it was done by a hillbilly off the side of the road? What the fuck are we talking? Why is this a thing?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
With Missy
Just let me finish my thought before you fucking interrupt me. Wrong room to ask questions.
Welcome to the party, pal.
and Mike Markadal.
I'm just glad I like vanilla boring sex like this. I'm glad that the sex I enjoy won't get me killed.
That's how winning is done.
Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, and this is What's Up, Bro.
Welcome to the What's Up Bro podcast, your favorite podcast, where you come to watch and listen to people talk and debate and argue over stuff that they have no idea about. And since Mike, the medical professional, is not here, we're definitely not going to
Even worse.
talk about it. He at least knows something about something. I got nothing for you, man. I am Nary Signs. With me, as usual, is Steph Mayer Sr.
Hello.
Bam, bam, bam. I gotta put this up a little bit, right? Yeah, there you go. So you can see the top of my bald head. I need you to see that part. I refuse.
Yeah, I'm not showing the top of my head right now because I haven't redone my roots in a bit. So
Yeah, I know. I was gonna tell you. It seems a little awkward. Nobody noticed. Nobody. Anyways, thank you guys for checking us out. Steph, last time we recorded, actually 2 weeks ago, I recorded a solo episode, and in that solo episode, I talked about Ezra Miller the day previous being arrested, the day previous to me recording that solo episode. He got arrested for assault, and I forgot what else. But here's the thing: that was 2 weeks ago. He then now got arrested yet again for assault.
really?
In Hawaii. And
Wait,
and
what?
he hit a woman, and she had a gash. I don't know how big, I don't know how real the gash is, because it could be a scratch and be like, it was a gash. It could be a scratch if somebody that was poor did it, and then if somebody that's rich did it, it's like, look at this gash.
Okay, but wait, is there any more to the story? Like, why?
Yeah,
What happened? Who was it?
I will share the screen because that's an option that we now have. We've had it for a year, but my whole point is that we could do that. So Ezra Miller, I like the fact that it says U.S. actor, because you know why? This website is from the BBC. Ezra Miller arrested over assault in Hawaii. It says Ezra Miller has been arrested after allegedly assaulting a woman in Hawaii. The Fantastic Beast star threw a chair at the woman, leaving her with a cut to her forehead, according to police. Ezra was arrested in the early hours of Tuesday morning for a second-degree assault at a private property in Hawaii's Big Island after reports of the attack. It's the second time the 29-year-old... I'm sorry?
He keeps having in private properties, right? Like he's doing some like parties and this is happening or something.
Yeah, like the last time was at a karaoke bar, and people were singing karaoke, and he kept yelling, and then he tried to tackle somebody that was playing darts in the same bar before he got thrown out. It's the second time the 29-year-old has been arrested in recent weeks. Hawaii Police Department said that the actor became irate before throwing the chair. First of all, I'm very disappointed that they said Hawaii Police Department and not Hawaii 5-0. I mean, it's fucking right there for you guys. It's right there. Jesus. What I mean,
But I also just like that they specified he became irate before throwing the chair. Like, is he gonna do it calmly?
I like the
Is
fact
he
that the
gonna be
police
really
had
chill
to
about it?
the police had to clarify that. Like the police, like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, I know we're not supposed to assume things, but can't we assume that he was irate before the like who's happy go lucky then throws a chair and then gets irate? Like,
I feel like that would be a much more important like information to put out by the police. Like if they were specifying, be like, he was really chill when he did it.
dude,
Like
he was
that would be
super chill.
important to know.
we thought he was smoking pot, and then he just randomly threw a chair. It says it's a half shortly after 1 o'clock local time, Tuesday, April 19th. The 29-year-old visitor from Vermont was arrested for second-degree assault after an incident. Blah blah blah. We already read that part. I'm trying to get to the part where it says with a cut. Oh yeah, okay. So resulting, he hit he threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female on the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. Now, we can stop sharing now. All right. So half-inch cut. What does that mean? Right? How big is a half-inch cut?
Did he throw it at her, or he threw it and it hit her? Like he threw it at her.
That is a good question. I mean, does it really matter at that point?
I mean, no, in the end result.
Legally,
but, like, I'm wondering, like, were
that's
you
a good
trying to attack
question.
this
Don't get
like
me wrong.
random 26-year-old woman, or
It's
were
a
you
good
just being a
question.
general asshole and it hurt
I
someone?
mean, he was still being an asshole.
Yes. No, but was he being a general asshole or a pointed asshole? You know what I mean?
Specific ass. Yeah, like was he overreacting to something? Was he being an overall general asshole, or was he being Will Smith about it? It hurts me. They came out. By the way, she came out with a Red Table Talk today, J.Lo.
Oh, really?
But she didn't talk about that.
Okay.
It's
She probably just trying to avoid it.
It's presumed that it was that it was recorded prior to the Oscars. Presumed, but it wasn't specifically said. There was a disclaimer before the episode saying like our family's in a time of healing, and these things would be brought up when it's time or whatever the fuck.
Oh yeah, it's probably pre-recorded then.
Rookie says, I'm pretty sure there have been more Ezra Miller attacks in Hawaii this month than shark attacks.
Aw. It's so sad. I had always loved the guy, but like it seems like he's on this like downwards. He's in some sort of spiral.
I mean,
Something's happening.
He's clearly going through. I talked about this in my solo episode. He's clearly going through some shit, and I'm not trying to make fun of the guy because I don't know what he's going through. And just because he has money and or celebrity doesn't mean that he's not going through his bouts of something. But he's clearly going through something. There's obvious, anger management issues. But whatever the reason for these outbursts are, it sucks because I'm a fan of his work, and it seems as if it's gonna cost him work at some. I mean, you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I did talk about this in the solo episode where I said, not for nothing, but if you were gonna recast a member of the Justice League, the Flash would be the one to do, because you do a Flashpoint.
But yeah, exactly, because that's the one that actually makes the most sense. To do.
I mean, so they already filmed the movie. Hit the Flash movie. So even if you bring in a different actor for reshoots, you could work it in that this is the outcome of the fucking Flashpoint. That is he now looks like a different person, but it's still him.
Yeah, you could do something funky with like special effects.
No,
you still have to address it though.
You get a completely different. You get a fucking Hispanic dude.
No, I'm saying like you do some special effects showing him turning into someone else.
Oh, right.
Explain it away really quick, and then you keep going. You could. I doubt they're going to, because it's a shot.
If there was a character built for it, it's the Flash.
Sure.
If there was
all of them really. It's just it's the
no, but if there's a character built for changing an actor mid movie, it would be the Flash.
Yeah. Well,
who would you cast as the new?
I wouldn't have recasted anyone. I want my Batfleck back. I want my Batfleck back.
But this is what happens when Barry goes back in the fucking he fucks everything up. So this is what happens.
Admittedly, I have not seen the new Batman, because it came out right when I was traveling and I was coming back and forth between the States and back to Australia, and I just never had the chance to see it in theaters, and now I'm just like, I have to wait. I didn't really hear much one way or the other, though.
What do you mean? Most people seem to love it. I did not at first viewing, but I'm like interested in watching it again and seeing like how
that changes.
Oh yeah. How that changes. So why does that sound keep happening?
And
What's
honestly,
happening?
like when it comes to Fantastic Beasts, I don't know. Like I haven't seen any of the update ones, so I don't know what's happening with his character in it. Um, but I don't know if that would affect anything, just because like Fantastic Beasts is embroiled in so much drama constantly with their actors. It's like no one can act right. Like who is attached to those movies? There's always something.
The Johnny Depp more like that's another fucking dramatic. Johnny Depp and what's her name?
Oh,
Uh,
Amber Heard.
Amber Heard
That's one of those
more.
ones that I'm sitting there and I'm just like waiting because I'm like, I just need someone to it keeps flip-flopping constantly what's
Yeah.
happening with them. I'm like, I just need someone to tell me
Can
what's
we hug
up.
it out? Can we hug this shit out? Like I feel like both these people need hugs in their lives, and I'm like, fuck, dude,
And
this is
lots of therapy, very intense
lots
therapy.
of therapy. Oh my
So
god.
much therapy. Yeah.
But I I don't know. So who you don't so you would who you don't want to give somebody who you would cast as Flash? I say Grant Gustin
Ooh,
from
I
the
would
TV
love for
show.
him. Like he was great. And it'd be such a nice way if you are gonna do the Flashpoint paradox, it'd be such a nice way to bring all those things in together. And like for DC to just imply we had like Marvel beat the whole time. You just didn't know. Haha.
We planned on the actor that we chose to fucking have problems and beat people up at bars in Hawaii. That was all
Mhm.
planned, bro,
He's
guys.
but get distracted. Look at Grant. Look at him sing and dance. He's so
There
nice.
oh man, that's a great fucking episode, man. That was a great episode. That song is one of my favorite songs. Like,
To be honest,
period.
I've never even seen it. I just happen to already know that Grant Gustin is a good singer and
He's a
dancer.
good
So
singer, man. He
that
did
the
this
reference
song.
is entirely from Glee.
One of my favorite we did an episode of Geekmore where it was favorite songs that were in a show or movie. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't,
Okay. It
you know what
wasn't
I mean?
it wasn't a musical that just happened to be
No,
in
it's
it.
the other way around. It was like it's a song that was written for that specific show or movie. That
Okay. But it
it
wasn't
was
background. It was specifically like it
correct,
exists within the
correct.
scene. Okay.
And so one of my favorite is actually no, the episode of Geekmore that it was best TV proposals, and
Oh.
I picked the Flash because when he proposed, he sang the song, and the song was "I'll always be running home to you," and I'm like, because he's the
That's so
Flash,
sweet.
and he runs like that. I was that fucking guy. That was. I'm like, oh my god, do you guys get it? Everybody gets it, right?
I
Everybody
love how
gets
for
it.
you, it's because it's the Flash is why it's touching. Whereas if it was like a show about a cross country runner, you'd be like,
Yeah.
too on the nose.
Fuck him. Let's see what. Oh my god, really? You're never gonna win a race, you asshole! Like I'd be that fucking guy. But it's the Flash. He's always running. That's his thing. Barry's always running. Um. That's funny.
Yeah. Although a good subject for one of the Geek Mores would be like, if not proposals, then it would be actually that the like songs that like we exist within a show that isn't a musical. Like,
Well, I think we did an episode something like that. I don't know. It's been a while, but I think we did an episode where it was either songs or yeah, I think it was songs that were like within that world. Like you had to. It was a song. It wasn't a song that was created before that or whatever. It was within that world. I don't know. We did a lot of episodes. But Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, I'm one of those like, wow, this is so fucking toxic. Jesus, it seemed
yeah.
like the perfect storm of two people who should not ever get together.
Yeah.
Got together.
And I admit I have even publicly like I've flopped so many times in my opinion on what that situation is. And like at
I'm
one
still
moment
team Johnny. I'm
I'm
still team
still
Johnny, but I'm not in the sense of like blindly like he did nothing wrong. I'm not that guy, but I'm like, he lost work though, like a lot of work, and she hasn't lost any work.
I don't think she had a lot of work to begin with though.
She had Aquaman. She hasn't lost. And they couldn't. And then they started filming Aquaman 2 when it was already known that she was a piece of shit. Again, not saying he's not a piece of shit. I'm saying she's also a piece of shit. So if he's losing work because he's a piece of shit, then she should be losing work because she's a piece of shit as well.
Yeah.
They're equal pieces of shit. And when their powers combine, they formed a really bad marriage.
Yeah.
They
Just one of those you're like, you two should just not be near each other. You should
ever,
just not know each other exists.
ever.
You
Like
were
I
much
don't.
better before each other.
Oh
You
my
were so much better before each other.
God. I mean, I feel bad for these
There you go.
people,
There's
man.
another geek more top most toxic couples.
Most couples, J.Lo and insert name here.
Oh.
She got engaged again. I completely missed it. I didn't find out until like a week later that she got engaged again, and it
It's
was
because we
such
didn't have Martika on the episode.
not a fucking like on the radar. Like nobody cared. Nobody in social media didn't blow up. There was
Oh no,
none of.
I heard about it.
I found out about it like 4 days after it happened on social media. That's not blowing up on social media. Like
No, it didn't take over. I think it's one of those things where like this time
like,
around with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez getting together, everyone was like, "Yeah, you guys are fine. Like you probably got it together. You're fine. Do you?"
I felt like Thanos getting the last ring, and I'm like the last stone. I'm like, it's whatever. We got it. It's understood. Like we understood. Like it wasn't a surprise. It was fine. It's just another stone that she's collecting. It's fine. We got it. Continue.
Well, let's wait till the actual like wedding. It's like the wedding. Like go through with the wedding.
I know it's a thing.
Yeah.
I wish them well though. Like I like them together, but fuck, it's not a surprise, right? Like, were you surprised when they got together? Where you go, oh shit, they got engaged? Did you do that?
No. When they got back together, I was kind of like, oh yeah, you found each other again. Yeah, you're gonna at the age that they're at, they're gonna be like, let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Melly says it's just like she's always engaged to someone fucking new. So
And then the
That's
bottom
true.
comment is also hi.
Also, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's a weird. We were talking about something right before we went on air, and I was like, oh, this is a good topic to talk about, and I completely forgot.
I know my mom asked me earlier today. I was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, what are you guys gonna talk about today?" I'm like, "We never know."
Girl.
I'm like, "We have titles on that thing as like a mere suggestion."
Well, we have titles because StreamYard forces us. Like, no, you have to write something here. Like, oh fuck, well, okay. Yeah, fuck. Well, I guess you gotta do something.
Yeah, we might get to these things.
Yeah, eventually. Mike is very adamant and like, no, we have to get to these things. I'm like,
But I like that he does like steer us every so often. He's like, no, come back to this segue.
We have to finish this yeah, we have to finish this topic. Yeah, Mike was what was he? Oh, we gotta play What Is Mike Doing?
Oh yes. What is Mike doing? Oh, I want to believe. Okay, I was gonna go sweet with it. I was just gonna say that he's whisking off his lady to a secret, like second honeymoon after
Second?
the.
That would be the first. That would be your first one.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they like celebrated a little bit.
Yeah.
After
Oh,
the
okay.
wedding.
I didn't know a honeymoon. I thought a honeymoon was like a getaway.
Full on
Like,
thing. Yeah. Okay. They absconded. They escaped to. Where do you think their honeymoon would be?
You know, Jeff had the best answer. He said Coney Island, and I think that would be a great, very much Mike-esque type
On
of
brand.
scenario. Yeah, very on brand. It's like if you're gonna.
What if he surprises us all? He's like, no, fuck you guys, Paris.
He does like to travel though. He's been to Japan. Like he does like to travel a lot, and he so I don't know.
No, you know what'd be perfect? They went specifically to like Paris or someone very typically romantic, but they specifically took a picture of a hot dog cart in front of the Eiffel Tower. Like
Correct.
they're like, I am still sticking to my brand, but here.
He has family in Paris too. That's where he ate dog.
What?
So the story goes, he did this on WuBro 1,000 years ago, but he did this. But the story is that he has family in Europe. He has family in Paris, and I believe it's Paris, if I'm not mistaken. And one of his family members is married to a professional chef, and then the chef prepared a bunch of different foods. One of the entrees was one of the things was dog, and he didn't tell anybody it was dog until after they had eaten it. Because when you tell them it's dog, they're gonna be like, "No, I don't want that shit."
Yeah, he's like, this is just shin something. He's like snuck it in there, like.
Right. And so that's what happened. And Mike says that he didn't obviously know, but he was like, it wasn't bad. And I was like, it tastes like chicken. I'm like, everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
It's a
Would
weird.
that count as like that? That's 100% like that would show up as like a post on Am I the Asshole? Like, am I the asshole?
Am I the asshole for feeding my family dog
without telling them?
Telling them
Until after they ate it.
Yeah,
I feel like there's certain proteins You probably should tell people before they ingest it.
I don't know. Do you think? I mean, if they're not allergic to protein, if they're, you know what I mean, unless they're allergic to it, I guess that would be the big,
Look, there's many
flag.
things that are protein. I'm just saying
I
that
mean,
like
I
he
would never
should.
want to eat dog, but if somebody fed it to me without me knowing first, I'm like, you got me. That would be my
That's
reaction.
it. That's
Yeah, oh, yeah, you son
yeah,
of a bitch.
you
You
know.
son of a bitch. You got me this time, huh?
But then
It's
afterwards,
funny.
you come home and Baloo's just looking at you.
Yeah.
Like, what have you
Oh
done?
no,
Right?
you made it personal. Oh no.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I couldn't ever look at my dog in the face and be like, I'm so sorry.
oh, but again, I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't like I went out and be like, now I need dog nuggets. I didn't. I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like again, if you did it and fuck you, fuck me up. I don't know. Maybe not. But now you made it personal. So now I was like, oh shit, my dog's looking at you now.
Yeah.
You think you would know?
Melly in the comments just brought up a time that my parents did it. I just saw it right now.
Melly says Steph's parents did that to us. We ate meat and found out it was a bear. Oh, bear's my favorite animal. Oh no.
Right?
Oh no. Yeah, I would definitely.
My parents straight up made bear meat tacos.
Was it good or was it tough? Was it tough? It seems like
It was kind of tough. It was kind of, well, apparently it was like off season. I don't know how you say it.
Does off season mean he was asleep? He was hibernating and they killed this motherfucker in his sleep?
It means it
What
was.
does off-
I think
what
it
does
was.
off season
I think
mean?
it was stored for a little too long, so they had to salt the meat a little heavier than usual, so it wasn't tender. It was a little tough, and instead of slow cooking it like they should have, apparently, my parents cooked it like normal, so it just ended up looking like a bunch of sirloin strips. So
Right.
they were like fucking tacos.
But did you like it though?
It was right. It was too salty.
Oh, okay.
But it was like, so the salt covered it. So I really honestly couldn't tell you how it tasted.
Melly says that it wasn't too rough because they added tenderizer or whatever.
Oh, they must have served you a better serving than they served me.
I don't know. I wouldn't be like this goes back to the Mighty Asshole from last week where we talked about that the guy was like, you're eating regular pasta. You're not eating the fucking that bullshit.
No,
pasta.
but he didn't just say like that. He said, "You're eating regular pasta."
There's a BRAHAHA like bro.
Yeah. It was the mwahaha that made him the asshole.
I still don't think he was the asshole about that. I still think that's why I'm telling you. Look, unbeknownst to me, I didn't do this on purpose, but goes back to that conversation. Like right now, we're talking about like if somebody fed me dog, I'm like, you son of a bitch, you got me now. Like that's really what my reaction would be. Like I wasn't fucking like I'm gonna say this because it ties into last week and it proves my point from last week. No, I'm like that's my honest reaction. It's like, you got me. I'm not gonna eat it again. I'm not gonna go back for fucking seconds unless it was really good. If it was really good, what if fucking dog meat was like the best meat?
That's how I am with veal. Veal makes me so sad because it's so good.
Oh, I don't like veal, but yeah,
I've had it made really, really good before, and I ate it before
really
knowing
well.
what it was.
Really well.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
Oh
you're
wow,
right.
I did not expect that. I did not expect that. I was like, I was trying to be an asshole on purpose.
I don't know if you're actually right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It actually is correct. I actually technically am accurate, but I was saying it to be an asshole. I wasn't saying it to be. I was trying to be funny about it. And then when you said you're right, I was like, oh fuck. I don't know where to go with this. I was doing it as a bit. I was doing it as look at me.
It's kind of like when I'm angry and Dave just says sorry, and I'm like, fuck.
I got nothing now.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Where's my steam? No, yeah, like I think when I first tried veal ever, I was like, this is delicious, this is amazing. What is it again? And was told how it was prepared, and I was like,
yeah. I knew how it was prepared before I ever tasted 1,000 years before I ever tasted veal. And that wasn't the reason I never had it. I was just like, I'm really boring when it comes to food because I like eating the same thing over and over and over again. Once if I go to a restaurant and I order whatever, if I go to you and I go to a new restaurant and I order
ADHD trait,
and I order ABC and I like ABC, it was good that time. I'm gonna order ABC every single time I go back to that restaurant
until you get sick of it.
No, I won't get sick of it. And you know what has to happen? Somebody else around me has to have something that's different than ABC, and then they have to offer it to me, and then I'll taste it, and then I can make a future. But I don't want to risk ordering something that I don't like, knowing that they have something that I do like. That's my problem. It's the risk factors. Like
Right.
I don't want to waste my money and time.
You know, I get it. There was years there where like I want to say there was a good chunk of my personality that was completely made up of the fact that if I went anywhere and there is apple pie, I was eating it.
Yeah. As
It
you
was a
should, really.
defining
Apple pie
factor.
is
It was a defining trait.
Yeah.
I
That,
couldn't.
and that's my thing with, so that was my thing with veal. So every time I went somewhere, I already knew how I was prepared, and it didn't bother me in the sense of, yeah, they kill cows with fucking hammers and shit. Like it's like, you know, it's whatever. So I'm not gonna be a hypocrite that way, but I was like, yeah, that's fine. That so the how they prepare veal didn't bother me. It's just that every time there was veal, there was also steak, and I'm like, I know what steak tastes like. So I'm gonna just have this fucking regular ass steak. I'll have this porterhouse, or I'll have this, you know, that's my reason for not having it, for taking that long to have veal. And then I had it, I was like, I don't like it. And I knew it too. I was like, you see, this is why I don't fucking order different. This is why I stick with ABC. What the fuck, man? Now
I just rather know what I'm getting into. Like I've had scorpion and shit, but it looked like a fucking scorpion. So I was like,
yeah, you can't make.
I'm going in.
Yeah, you're not making a scorpion hot dog. You're not. I mean,
it tasted like chips.
Did it taste like chips? Like potato chips?
It just tasted like sorry, fries. They tasted like fries.
Wow, she's so fucking Australian. Oh my god. Oh man.
The sound effect should be like just a snippet from Land Down Under.
Wow, she said chips as in fries, people. You get it?
That was honest too. That was an honest.
Yeah, I know.
Like
you were like, I was like, oh, like potato chips. I was like, what kind of chips? Like Dorito chips. Like that's where I went. And you were like, no. And I saw your face. You're like, I don't want to admit this.
Yeah, I should have just made up something else.
You're like, yes, but you could have just said yes, potato chips. I would have never known what the fuck scorpion tastes like. You totally could have been like, yep, potato chips. That was it. That's it. And I would have been like, cool. Never fucking. I would in a million years. I'm not gonna have scorpion. Grasshopper.
Well, it seems like bugs. I keep hearing that bugs are like the food of the future.
Sure, man. Whatever, dude. Okay. When you say future, I'm assuming you don't mean the next 40 years. I'm assuming you mean.
I don't know, man.
I'm assuming you mean like the next 100.
Climate change news is terrifying. I'm just like,
because I'm planning on being here another 40 or 50, and then I'm out, bro. I'm fucking you deal with this shit on your own, brother. Like that's it. Yeah, I'm 40 now. Like to think that I'm actually half like fucking middle age. Like that's a thing.
Yeah,
I did it. You know, it's funny because I'm not I've told you before. Like I'm not. You were like when you turned 30, that was a big deal for you. It's a big birthday, and I was like, it really isn't. It really isn't a big birthday. And
it
so
felt like a big birthday. It feels like a big birthday when you're approaching it, and then the moment you hit it, you're like, oh.
Oh, it's just like yesterday. But I'm not that guy.
But going into 40, I don't feel like I did right before 30 anymore. Because I'm going toward 40 and I'm just kind of like, it's there.
Yeah. Well, because now you're happy with your life. So it's fine. It's different. You know.
I could probably do something actually.
So then, but I think to me, like I've never been that guy that's like, oh, it's a milestone birthday. And I don't care. But when it really did hit home was when I filled out a COVID thing and it says verify your date of birth, and I verify my date of birth, and then there's a pop-up window that says, is this information correct? And it says Nary signs, date of birth, blah 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 blah, and then in parentheses it says 40 years old. Like it says 40 years old, and I was like, damn,
in bold letters, like spaced out.
I was like, damn, state of Florida, like that. You just like, damn, bro. That got me a little bit. I was like, like that is gonna come out. Okay, like that. Okay. No Vaseline or nothing, huh? Okay.
Just coming at you with like, hey, bitch, past your prime.
It's halfway. You're halfway done.
Yeah.
And like,
you hit on young people now. You're that creepy guy. You're that creepy old guy. Like,
but you know what's funny? For the last few years, I've been not like, even in my porn, I'm like, I don't want that. Like I don't. Like barely legal.
Honestly, I'm like that with a lot of like
I get ads, it's like barely legal. I'm like, no, I don't want that at all. I don't like. I just literally go, no, I don't want that. The algorithm no longer suggests that for me, and it hasn't for a few years now because I'm not that. And every once in a while, I'll be like, hot MILF with barely legal. I'm like, no, just stick with the MILF. Stick with the MILF. Why are you bringing in this other fucking baby? I don't need this child.
There's no guilt here. Let me be guilt free.
Yeah, I don't need. But I just. here's the thing, it's not even a guilt factor. It's really like I'm not turned on by that. Like young, super young, and I'm not. Again, we've talked about this before. I can acknowledge somebody being attractive doesn't mean that I'm
Yeah.
attracted. I could acknowledge that women who are 20 years old are attractive, but I'm not attracted to, like, that doesn't drive me anymore. It doesn't, like,
Yeah.
it's happened naturally. Like I never made a conscious decision to be like, I no longer want to fuck 20-year-olds. It's not, I never said that out loud, but I just, like, in the porn that I watch, I'm just like, I'm gonna stick to something that's closer to my age. Even if it's a few years older, I'd rather that
Yeah.
than something that's 20 years younger
it's
than me.
so disconcerting when you when I've talked to people in the past and they're like, oh yeah, like that is what's attractive though. I can't imagine ever not being attracted to that because by definition that's what's attractive. And I'm like,
Right.
only by societal standards, not by personal
No,
preference.
but it's
Like
not.
personal
I don't
preference
think
is
it's.
still personal preference. Like
I don't even think it's societal standards. I think it's because if it would have been societal standards, by society standards, 20-year-olds are still hot. I should still
well,
at 40
exactly. But
years.
I'm saying like
I'm
I'm saying like I
40-year-old
think
man.
I'm saying that person was dictating that they would still be attracted to that
Well,
because that's what like that is hot. And I'm like, yes, but because society deems it hot. Like you don't know
no,
what
I think
you're gonna find hot at that
no,
age.
I think it's the other way around. He thought he was gonna always be attracted to that because he's attracted to that then. But in reality,
Yeah.
not because of what society thinks, because society still thinks 20-year-olds are hot. It's because preference
Yeah.
changes and matures with you. At least it should.
We're
'Cause
saying
if
the
it
same thing,
doesn't,
but in different fonts.
but if it, but at
Like,
least it should. It really should change. Like I have friends who are close to my age and
mhm,
who still prefer girls who are 20. And again, I am by no means knocking a 20-year-old beautiful woman. Like there's beautiful women
mhm,
who are super young, who are 25, whatever. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying it's not my preference. I'm just saying like
yeah.
that doesn't do it for me anymore. Like when I see Sofia Vergara, who's fucking like 1,007 years old, I'm like, that's hot. Like that's
How
gorgeous.
old is she actually? She's like
She's
50
probably
maybe? Like
she's
40
closer to that.
something?
No, she's not 40 something. She's got to be in her
I
50. I
think she's
mean,
like 50.
J.Lo's 52.
But she looks amazing.
Of course. Like she's singing to the choir. Singing to the choir here.
Real right. She's 49 years old. Sofia
49.
Vergara.
There you go.
Like,
Uh
like there's just certain like some people just hot.
Selma Hayek is
full
older.
stop.
Selma Hayek is like 55 or something, right? It's
And
gotta be
gorgeous and gorgeous. Oh my god.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
gorgeous is gorgeous. I don't give a shit about the age.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, but I would rather look at somebody who's that age group sexually attractive, like to be attracted to them than to be looking at like I don't. And I didn't notice this
Mhm.
until a few years ago when my porn was like, I was like, oh, I don't want that.
So even little things like there's this I was on this tilt like I realize my age a lot sometimes because I was on this like little TikTok filter playing with it, right? It was like who would you rather? And it had like just about a variety of different kind of actors and stuff on the top, like men and women. And whenever I would watch videos of people doing this filter, whenever the Tom Hollands or the Timothy Chalamet or all these popped up, excuse me,
Ricky says, "Excuse me, but I'm here for the very legal.
very legal.
If you don't have a daughter that's barely legal, I'm fucking out, man. I need you to have a daughter that's on that 20-something-year-old page. I don't fucking need yeah, I don't need your daughter. I need you to have the daughter.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry, you were
exactly.
saying.
There should be a guilt-free tab when you go to Pornhub. Be like, nope, let's just take
So Mike
all
and I
this
were
out.
having this discussion a few episodes ago. We had Ish on. It was Mike,
Mhm.
Ish, and myself, and from Ish from Pero Let Me Tell You podcast. That
Mhm.
could be found on the Geek Bro Network. And Ish brought up a website that has actually been very helpful, a porn site where it's like the Google of porn. So you go to this website and all it is a fucking search bar, and then you type in whatever you type in, and it like it brings in it's like the Travelocity of
It's like an aggregator.
it literally aggregates all the shit, and it's like and then you could preview it, and then when you click it, it takes you to that website. So you no longer have to be confined to a porn. I never did Pornhub anyways. I haven't done Pornhub in like over 10 years. Just because I like to be the outsider, I like to be the one that's different. It's like
And to be on the cutting edge.
I like XN XXX, and then she like so, but so we were having this discussion, and then Ish was like, "May I make a suggestion?" And he said, "pornmd.com," and I was, and Steph was like taking notes.
I'm joking about that. I
Taking,
can't write that. I was about to write it on this paper, but like my son's name is on it, so like I'll remember that. It's fine.
Melly says that she goes to xvideos.com, which is another one that I would go to as well. But here's again the fucking one. Porn MD is just magical. I'm like, I've been meaning to text Ish, like, hey man, shout out, thanks for that, appreciate that. This is great. Could you just type in like, Hispanic midget, and all this shit comes up, like it's just all there. I'm sorry, Hispanic little people. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid the little people porn stars are offended. Like what the fucking what are we?
They're due respect. They're doing a tough job. Like give them some respect.
Are they? It's sex. Right?
Yeah, but it's also you gotta fit different. Like it's hard, man.
Okay, now who's the one being
I was
offended?
explaining this to Dave the other day,
Now
and
who's
I
the one
really
being
hope
offended?
none of my staff. I so hope none of my staff ever find these links to these videos. But whatever. If any of my staff ever sees
AKA
this,
Steph does not promote does not promote the show at her job.
not the job, no. But I put it on my Facebook, and so many of them like are friends with me on Facebook. I just whatever. I know there's a risk involved, but fuck it. I told Dave the other day, I'm like, there's this thing where I'm like, look, I love you. I love all of it. Really. There's so many women that glorify a certain height in man, right? I'm like, but I gotta say, there's pros and cons to everything, because yes, it is nice the fact that he's like over 6 foot, whatever, like 6 foot, like I think he's 6 foot flat or 6'1", I don't know.
Who?
He's like over 6 foot, Dave.
Dave is not 6 foot flat. I'm 6 foot flat. I'm 5'11" and a half. Dave is, what are you out of your mind? Dave is like 6'3", 6 foot. Like, what? Dave towers over me. How are you that? Are you that short? Do you think everybody's like, oh, he's tall, he must be 6 feet? Is that what you think?
Maybe actually.
Mike once told me.
I have to look up
Mike
to
once
see
told
him.
me
Like
if
Mike's
they're
a
shorter
giant.
than me, he goes, if they're shorter than me, I think everybody's 6 feet. Everybody who's shorter than me is 6 feet. He can't tell how tall somebody is that's shorter than him, because to him they're all short. And it's you have the opposite where you're so short.
Most
Everybody to you is
look up.
Yeah.
No, to me, I'm like, if I have to look up to look at you, you're 6 foot. It's just a
Julie
title
says,
I'm giving you.
Julie says, I'm taking notes. Carry on. PornMD.com is the shit. Porn filming is as easy as you think it is. Melly says
it's not as easy, maybe? Oh, it's not
it's
as
easy,
maybe?
or maybe she's saying it is as easy as what you think it is. Like it's just you just fuck. It's easy. Melly says, I've been involved in porn production. It's not as pretty as it's never as pretty. Like
No,
it's
of course not.
First of all, sex is not pretty. Like this idea of pretty sex that Hollywood has ingrained in us, of like bath and fucking candles and shit and bubble baths, that's not real. Sex is not pretty at all. My wife often tells me, I'm like, hey, let's do this, and she's like, you're gross. I'm like, absolutely, you're right. Let's do it. Like I'm not debating that it's gross. I'm just saying that it sounds like fun as well, right?
I love when sex ends in both of you being like, well, that was like there's a moment where you're like, well, that was something. That was different.
I would argue that
there's a moment of
I would argue that it's really good when it ends, and we both say, taking notes, carry on. Just like Julie did.
Yeah.
It's good. Let's take notes. Remember this one.
I like the comment that he just said right now too. First of all, Jules in the comments is calling me out for short, but thanks.
Yeah. She's saying she's 5. Is she 5'11"?
No, I think she's laughing at you being like, I'm 5'11".
Is that bad? Does that make me short? Why am I 5'11"? Why is 5'11"? I just said
because
it.
You're saying that Dave's obviously taller. She was just laughing.
Way taller is what. That was my whole point. Is like Dave fucking towers over me, and you're like, yeah, Dave is 6 feet. I'm like, no, he is not fucking 6 feet. And Jules, by the way, I said 5'11" and 3/4, madam. Thank you very much.
Respect on that.
Put some respect on my 3/4, man. Dave is like 6'1" max. Nah. Nah.
He slouches a lot.
Yeah. Nah. He slouches a lot.
The man needs to work on his posture. I have become
Oh,
my
okay. She said
Hispanic.
she's saying she meant to say
It's not as easy. Porter's not as easy.
no, she's saying it's not as easy. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then
Ru-
Julie was mentioning that editing it is even worse.
Rookie says, I don't know. I can tell a joke, but I'm not a comedian. I assume porn's the same. Right? Like I'm not saying I'm gonna outlast these guys, but it's
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Yeah,
though,
it's
right?
bringing it back to the reason I even brought up Dave's height is I told him, I'm like, because he's one of the taller guys that I've been with, I
Right.
told him, like, sometimes the puzzle pieces fit differently than
Right.
like I'm accustomed to. Like I've had to switch up my style. Like,
Right.
because there
You
are
have to
moves
be
I
more
used to do.
in wrestling, you would be considered you would now be considered a flyer. You have to
On a good day.
be yeah, you have to be aerodynamically enhanced. Yeah, I mean, there's that old joke where you see a short girl with a really tall guy, and you go, "Oh, I bet she goes up on him." There's that old joke or whatever, but it's a thing. It does happen, right?
Yeah, there are certain things that are easier to do now. There are certain things that are harder to do. There are things
Yeah,
that
they're
used to be
harder.
like I love. There's things I used to love to do that I'm like, I don't like to do it with you because it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, because I
Yeah.
had to come up with new shit that I like. Like,
Mm.
so yeah, it's one of the
Um,
things where like sometimes I think people don't think about the pros and the cons of like, oh, the guys have to be this much higher. I'm like, but you're like 5'3" tops on in heels. Calm
yeah,
down. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there should be a guide of how different you should be in height.
Melly saying, based on my last night experience, I can tell you it's not pretty, but it's fucking amazing. The less pretty it is.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn, Melly. Damn. And she's just saying, finger fucking glove. You're welcome. Finger fucking glove. Is that a toy? Do they have
I
a
think
finger fucking glove?
I'm imagining like
A vibrator tip glove?
like
That's what I'm imagining.
no, I was imagining like a ribbed glove.
I'm
You know?
imagining a vibrating tip glove, which if they don't have that already, did I just invent that?
Patent it, bitch.
Motherfucker. I think I'm gonna be rich as fuck, man.
Just like where would you put the vibrating bit on
On
the
the
hand?
tip. On the tip.
On the tip, oh yeah. Or like the palm too, depending on what you want to do. Like where you want to grab. There's different like positions for different things. No.
but again,
Amazon figure fucking love. I'm not on I'm not at an Amazon.
Oh, I would
Melly.
absolutely Amazon finger fucking glove. Let's do this shit. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna be rich. If somebody else came up with this before me, finger fucking glove. They can't put fucking.
Okay, she
Amazon.
just specified it's not vibrating. Each finger has a different texture. That's exactly what I was picturing. Was just like a miscellaneous texture.
All right.
And you're
So let's
saying
put
it's
this question out to the public, ladies. Would a vibrating tip glove not be fucking something that you would be interested in checking out?
ladies or adventurous men. I'm just saying.
You
There's
know
that
what?
too.
You know what? I'm not gonna create this now. You just. What that
You need to be more adventurous.
How fucked up would that be?
The prostate is there for a reason.
How big it would you have to be to be like, I refuse millions of dollars if it's gonna be used in a homosexual way? Like, how fucking big do you have to be? I'm kidding. Of course, I'll take the millions. I don't give a fuck who uses his glove. Fucking
Yeah,
use
okay, like
for
use it for an actual massage, whatever.
I don't give a shit what you use it for. Like, just use it. But that sounds like a great idea. Fuck. I shouldn't have said that out loud. And this went live too. I can't even like edit this out. Remember back in the days, you'd be like, just edit that out. Don't put it in.
Yeah.
We're not live to the 4 people that are watching.
Live. They're commenting live.
Yeah.
It always changes the numbers.
I already have my money. Oh, look, Jewel says that I should patent it. She already has the money to back the idea. We could put this on Indiegogo.
Patreon.
We could put this on Indiegogo and like have this shit. Oh my god, I think it's a brilliant idea. How is this not fucking already done? How am I? Have you ever seen anything like that? I don't know why, but this now I just think that has to be a thing, right?
I mean, honestly, we'd have to do a bit of research to figure out if this is a thing. I always assume that everything
has already been created
when it comes to sex. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I always go ahead and assume. I haven't seen anything like that, so I'm gonna.
I don't even want to Google it. Because you Google it, then people find out that you Googled this shit and then they start making it. That's what happens, man. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get your ideas,
You're
man.
like, I'm just gonna make the design and just patent it and we're just gonna go.
We're just gonna go. It's like when Uncle
then,
Jesse fucking made the hairspray 3000. Remember that shit? Fucking.
This is just like that.
And he didn't do the research, and somebody else had created it before him. Remember that? Yeah, that's a thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You gotta do your research. Now you're gonna have to search on all the little different Adam and Eve sites and see what they got.
I'm a member of Adam and
I'm
Eve.
not surprised.
Do they have that in Australia? Do they have like a? I don't know what Australian names are. I don't know what stereotypical Australian names are.
I mean, Adam and Eve is from the Bible, so it's kind of everywhere.
I know, but it would have been funny to translate that to typical Australian names.
It'd be like Patrick and Sheila.
Right.
Something like
PatrickandSheila.com or
Yeah.
.aus.
Actually, you know what? That'd be fantastic.
Man, I'm coming out with gold this week, man. I'm fucking making this. Somebody write this shit down. I'm on ideas, man. Dude, somebody hire me, man. We gotta make this shit happen.
This is what I'm here for. Brainstorming your ideas, bitch.
Brainstorming, that's all I'm good
Because
for, man.
I am not gonna carry it out.
I don't follow through for shit, but I'm a fucking ideas, man.
That's another ADHD trait.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum.
Hey, debt.
Debt.
I'm here for
Crippling debt.
Yes. Here as a fantastic friend to a type A personality. Like I need to have type A friends because I will tell them my ideas and they'll be like, got it. Then they keep going. Just like, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love seeing it actually happen. That's why I bounce up. Melly straight up put in the link in the comments. I can't click on it.
Oh, she putting links to the glove? Fuck.
Yes. It's called ox balls.
What?
I can't.
Yeah, we're not allowed. It doesn't allow. Man. Ox balls. I'm not gonna put that in my Google. Ox balls. She was talking about oxtail earlier. Is she giving you a recipe?
I feel like she's like, I'm on theme this week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of scary too. Like a chick is like, hey, you wanna go back to my place? I don't know. Is your dick as big as an ox? Like, no. It's like then
I'm sorry, you're not ticking off my list this week.
Sorry, buddy. I'm all about the ox this week. This is the year of the ox.
It's my Chinese zodiac week. Next week it's all about the snake.
Oh, look, it is an oxtail recipe. You see, you were going with the sexual, like you.
No, at 100%, what she sent the link for was the fucking glove.
Ox balls finger fuck glove. Oh wow, that is. So, do you guys get? You guys don't have. Do you guys have Amazon? You guys have your own Amazon over there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Amazon. Amazon is taking over the planet. There's no way. If I went to the moon,
I don't know what the hell's going on with you. I don't know what's going on with you anymore. You got fries, chips. You're all over the fucking place over here. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the Amazon. We still got it. Like I wouldn't be able to escape it. I have to go into like planetary orbit to probably escape Amazon. And even then,
I mean planetary orbit. How long do you get the 2 days shipping thing?
Yes and no. It's starting to become more of a thing in the last few years. When I first moved here, not so much. No, it's getting better. The Amazon over here is getting better, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. To be honest,
I'm trying to find Am I the Asshole because I have a couple good ones.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for not helping my pregnant roommate with everything? Okay.
I'm already gonna say no. You're not the asshole. If it's your roommate, that's their baby.
Throw away. All right. So throw away because I have too much personal. All right. Am I the asshole? Throw away because I have too much. That's how they started this fucking conversation in mid sentence. Throw away because I have too much personal stuff on my main.
Oh. This is a throwaway profile.
Thank God.
It's Reddit speak.
All right. I'm not familiar. I'm not hip with the hoppity, man. I live in the dorms and got a new roommate this semester because my old one went home. I had never met her before she moved in, and she's currently 6 months pregnant and wants me to do more for her than I want to. We aren't friends, but because we share a room, she says I should support her more. All right, now there's a whole other paragraph after this, but do I have to continue reading this?
I don't think so. I
Uh,
don't think so. I think we do a different one because let's be real.
that's not at all a thing, lady. I'm
No, that is
sorry.
not. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm pregnant and I exist within your vicinity, so you must do things for me. Like, no.
Am I the asshole for not doing what my Airbnb host asked? Airbnbs are tricky, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll try to
Oh
make
god, I
this
got in trouble
short.
with Wayne.
I'll try to make this short and to the point. My friends and I paid almost $500 for a 3-day stay in an Airbnb condo as a mini vacation. The host
Cheap
and
as
I
fuck.
spoke. The hostess and I spoke about how he doesn't typically rent to people under 25 because they throw parties and trash the place. But he said he'd make an exception for me because I said, quote, all the right things. We didn't have any sort of party, just four friends drinking a bit at night and cooking meals during the day. We were out of the condo almost all day, every day, except to eat and sleep and shower. Why that order? Why didn't eat and sleep and shower? Okay. We got one music complaint because we had it a bit too loud during breakfast, but that was it. After we had paid for our halfway refundable deposit, but before going, the host messaged me to tell me that the cleaning crew was short staffed and that I had to do the following before checkout at 11 a.m. Start a load of towels in the washing machine. Number one. Number two, strip all the linens and place them on the floor by the washing machine. Leave the comforters on the beds. Number three, start the dishwasher. Number four, take out the trash to the dumpster in the parking lot. I personally was taken aback by this because what the fuck is the cleaning fee for? If I have to do all this myself, I paid nearly $500 and you can't handle cleaning the place, so I have to basically do everything on top of packing my things and leaving. Nevertheless, we did everything but take out the trash and start the washer. That's not everything. You did two of the four things, sir.
Yeah.
That's not everything. However, we did strip the beds and we put the towels and sheets together in a pile. We left the place just as we found it, with the exception of trash and linens on the floor. But we were asked to do that. In my opinion, I paid a lot of money for the cleaning fees alone, and I'm not a disgusting person by any means. But if I'm required to pay you a cleaning fee, why am I responsible for doing the bulk of the cleaning? Anywho, the host messaged me very passive aggressively today, and I just wanted other people's opinions. So, am I the asshole?
I
P.S. Do
mean,
not come in the comments with the whole "you got to stay in someone's house and didn't even follow their rules" uh, thing, because I did follow the rules of the agreed prior to payment and these demands that were made. If he would have told me these demands prior to my non-refundable payment, or posted them in his listing, I would never have taken this place, and I would have paid the cleaning fee in yeah, which is literally there for them to pay for them to clean up. Taking trash out and starting a washing machine is not something I should be forced to do when I have literally paid someone else to do it. ETA, I checked the receipt. Yes, I have screenshots, and the total was $531 for 3 nights, not 500. So over $200 a
that still
night.
sounds cheap as fuck to me. But
Oh,
okay.
it still sounds hella affordable. I
That
mean, it's not
and
gonna
it's between three people. No, I'm sorry. It's $500 something between three people for 3 nights. Like, it is. It's one of those things where I'm
here's
like, it's cheap as fuck.
here's what we don't know. Here's what we don't know. Is it $500 total between three people, or is he talking about his portion of the room? It's
No, you said the
$500.
receipt. It was on the receipt.
Yeah, but on the receipt means his. It could mean his portion. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying we. Isn't that
So
a
with the
thing?
way he worded it, it sounded like,
It said $233 a night.
yeah. Well, I'm saying like 200, but I'm saying split between three people. Whatever. Either way, even if it was super expensive, super cheap, he could have fought that. Like, if
Yeah.
afterwards he would have been like, no, this wasn't in the listing, I'm not gonna go with it. And then if the guy would have said anything, he'd be like, I could go to Airbnb about this, and then they would have just returned it. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, it was fucked up if the guy specifically waited till after, Because what does it say? That like he waited till after the non-refundable portion went in to tell
Right.
him he had to do these other things.
Yeah. Or ask them to do these other things.
Yeah, he could have just said no. He could have just said no. He said yes. He agreed
so
to something and then didn't do it. Like
when I read the list, because I was reading the post, I didn't want to be, commenting every step of the way. But when I read the list, I said the only thing I would do is throw out the trash. That's in my mind. That's what I was thinking. I was like, the only thing I would do is throw out the trash.
yeah,
Because
it isn't. It isn't
I'm
anything
literally
he has to deal
walking
with.
out. I'm literally walking out anyway, and just gonna throw out the trash. To me, that's not a big deal. Throwing out trash is not a big deal.
Mhm.
So that's the only thing. It's funny that he says that because that's the only thing I would have done. The only thing I
Yeah.
would have done is the one thing he didn't do. I would not have washed dishes. I would not have started. I would not have done. I would not. I would have thrown out the trash. I'm like, that's
See,
easy.
I've always gone ahead with all the closing like things a place has done when I've done Airbnb, but that's usually because it's listed on the thing. Like I do understand the whole like if you didn't list it and I didn't agree, I'm not gonna do it. I get that. I get that mentality. I think it's hard for him to defend it because he did end up going through with going there because he was told before he went. Like
Yeah,
what the
and
need
he's
was.
right. He's right in the sense of it. This would have been in the information prior to him.
Mhm.
I mean, I think everybody's the asshole.
Yeah, kind of like none of them would kind of went around it the right way. They should have just from the start been like, nah. If it in the end he went through with it because it was the only place they had available and they already booked it, it's kind of like it fucking sucks. But you gotta do it. If you've agreed to it, Like this thing is like if you've agreed to it and you've gone through with it after they said like I need you to do this, then like it's him agreeing it. But like I don't think it should have been on him to begin with.
Right. So,
Like,
all right. So let's look at the money. Right. So you're looking
Mhm.
at $233 a night. If at the most you're paying $233 a night, at the most.
Mhm.
If you're paying the whole, if that's your portion, or if you're the one just paying for the whole thing, which I don't know why you would do that if you're with friends, but at the least you're paying $77 a night. So you're either paying 77 or 233.
Mhm.
I feel like 233 is a lot of money per night. Is that how broke I am? Is that how broke I am? That I'm like,
No, I think it is. I think it's a decent price per night, and I think at that point, it's
that's
one
a
of those things
decent
where
price
like
for a night at a
needs-
hotel. That's a decent, like that's an expensive hotel. $200 a night for a hotel is
Yeah.
not. That's like a
and
good.
at least you get room service.
You get rooms.
get
I mean, you get a
housekeeping.
bunch of shit. You don't have to take out the
You get
trash.
housekeeping. You get someone else who
Yeah.
cleans it up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like in the end, if the guy was asking it like, hey, I'm kind of screwed, but I need this in order to get something forward. But you can't bitch if they don't do it because you're the one who's in this tough spot and it's your place.
Yeah. Ricky's
Like you can't really.
saying him not having enough workers is his problem. The original poster did more than I would have and should have asked for the cleaning fee back, not the asshole. I can't disagree with that either. I think everybody's the asshole. I would have thrown out the trash because that's just what I would have done. I definitely would have broached the subject of my cleaning fee. Like do I get my cleaning fee back if I do any of this?
Yeah, but see, he would have been protected if he would have brought that stuff up ahead of time. Like, see, I've had it in Airbnb. Unfortunately, I've had it in Airbnb where it's happened the other way around, where I had a bunch of stuff I did agree to before going somewhere, and then when I went there, I was surprised with a bunch of stuff that wasn't included in anything, and then thrown for a loop. And then I was one of the things where I'm like, I would have never come here if like any of these things had been stipulated. And in the end, I couldn't say shit because I went.
Okay.
Like I couldn't get anything back because I had gone because I went through with it. So I was like, fuck. Airbnb does not protect the people. Corporation.
Next topic. Am I the asshole for kicking my girlfriend out after an argument? So adoption is pretty common in my family. Oh boy. I probably have more adopted cousins than biological ones, though I can't say for sure since it really doesn't matter in my family. Then why even bring it up, sir? My 22 male younger brother, 15-year-old male were adopted by my parents when he was 7. Our dads were close and he used to come around a lot. His parents split up. Oh, wait, my 22 male. Okay. Okay, that threw me off. I'm sorry, I'm not hip with the lingo. So he's 22 and his younger brother's 15, and his younger brother was
Okay.
adopted by his parents when he was 7. Okay.
Okay.
His parents split up when he was about 5 due to his mom's drug problems, and she ended up in jail a few months later because of it. His dad then passed due to medical issues when he was 7, and my parents took him in because he would have gone into the system. So he's lived with us since I was 14, and I do see him as my little brother, and we are family. His bio mom is still around, but isn't allowed to see him. Oof. The problem comes in with my girlfriend. We have been together for 2 years, and we've met each other's families, and we have gotten in great with them. About a month ago, she came to see me complaining about how her sister is adopting, saying it was cheating, especially since she doesn't have any fertility issues. Oh God,
Cheating.
what an awful human being this bitch is. I told her that it doesn't matter if the kid is adopted or not, and that my brother's adopted. She didn't say anything else to me about it after that. However, she has stopped calling my brother my brother. She just calls him by his name. Yesterday, she and her friend, who is also my friend and introduced us, they were talking about it, and she is so happy that my parents will be her in-laws. He agreed and said that my parents and my brother would make great in-laws. She then corrected, quote unquote, corrected him and told him that my brother wouldn't be her in-law since he's adopted.
What
He
the
had
fuck?
he had no idea how to respond and ended up telling me about it. This caused an argument between us, and with me saying my brother is my brother and her insisting that he isn't, and that there is a difference. She told me to sleep somewhere else. That she told me to sleep somewhere else that night. I told her no, that this is my house too, and if she has an issue, she should sleep somewhere else. This caused her to scream at me, calling me manipulative and abusive before leaving to sleep at her parents. Her dad, who I really get along with, has asked me to speak. Has asked to speak with me, and I've gotten some aggressive messages from some other members of her family. I didn't think I was in the wrong, but with so many people upset with me, I think I might be. I brought this up, so maybe I'm asking, am I the asshole?
Look. Wow. um you may not be the asshole, but you're certainly blind because there's a lot of red flags right in front of your face. So many.
There's so many red flags.
So many red
Holy fuck.
flags. And you know what the funny thing is? All these people who are pissed at him are probably not even remotely thinking about the reason why they got into a fight. And like they're just upset the fact that he kicked her out of the house when they were arguing.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all they're upset about. They're just upset about the fact that like you two were fighting. She asked you to leave. You kicked her out instead. And that's all they're focusing on. Not thinking about the fact that the reason we were fighting was because she was saying my brother's not my brother. And stuff like that. Like either way, the person who kicks the other person out of the house is always going to look like the bad guy. Like it's always going to look like the bad guy.
But he didn't kick her out. He didn't.
No,
kick her
he
out.
just said, "I'm staying. You can leave if you want to.
If you want to leave, you can go." And she left. That's not the same as getting
exactly.
As her out.
He's not manipulative. If anything, he was just setting a boundary, and she was the one disrespecting his boundaries. Like, yeah, he needs to run.
People are pissed. So, Melly's
He
saying,
needs to run.
How is that cheating? And Julie says, fuck that bitch. He was right to kick her ass out. That dumbass. It says dumb her ass. It doesn't say dump. It says dumb her ass. Don't put words. Don't put words in Julie's mouth. Stuff. Julie says she's a narcissist and he needs to dump her. See? She said it afterwards. You see? So, yeah, right.
Yeah, this is psychotic.
I'm trying to go to the comments scene and like, did anybody choose him?
No one has to. But like, look, I've had people imply to me that like my brother is not my brother because he's my half brother. Like we're not the same, or things like that. And I'm just like, people have weird views on familiar relationships. Like they think that it's only family if it's like direct, immediate. And I'm like, okay, calm down with that.
That's so weird.
Mm-hmm.
That is so weird because like I've, my brother was dating a girl that he eventually married since divorce, but like they were together for a long time prior to them being married. And even when they were dating, I would call her my sister. And then they got
Aw.
married, and then they get married, and I called her my sister.
Mhm.
So I don't like it's such a weird thing, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I
Yeah.
would why does she have such a problem with it?
I know. To me,
Like,
I'm just like, bro, when you get with someone, it's bonus family. Like,
but why does she have such a problem with the idea of adopting and the
I
cheating?
don't
Like, oh, it's
know.
cheating and it's not his real family. Like, why would you even
Like,
care?
also, yeah. Like, why is it any of your business? Like, you're.
Like, but why would it be a bleep in your radar as to like I have a problem with this? Like, why would that be a like somebody else adopted somebody and you haven't and you're saying it's cheating? Like, what?
Yeah,
It
the fact that she, like the fact
affect
that
you
like
in
oh
any
it's
way, shape, or
because
form.
they're like but the fact that her specification was like oh because she doesn't have fertility issues is like are you only allowed to adopt if you have fertility
Yeah,
issues? Like last I checked adoption is one of those things where like it's available.
yeah. I was thinking about adopting somebody just to be able to name something else. I'm like, I want to give them a new name.
I had always it's one of those things where like I always wish that adoption was a little bit easier for a lot of people because it's actually one of those things you have to like jump through a lot of hoops for and stuff. I'm like, if
I
she's
mean,
willing
but
to jump through all the hoops,
yeah, but
why
I'm
just
saying
let her
it's,
fucking
I
support her?
I kind of think you should have to jump through a lot of hoops, right? Like you should really want this.
Sure, but you should eventually be able to.
You
You know
should
what I'm
also jump through all those hoops to have kids organically.
saying? Yeah,
That should also be a thing because
probably.
that would reduce the population. That would like like it shouldn't be like oh man we fucked up and we got a kid. It's like no man, I had to fill out paperwork. I had to go to downtown. I could fill out
Gotta
you know
take
what
a
I mean.
test.
There was a test. There was an interview process, and then we got a kid. It's like oh okay then obviously. So when somebody says
Like,
hey
yeah.
when somebody says hey we're having a baby, it's like oh shit man you went through a lot of work. Congratulations. That's a congratulations.
Yeah.
That's all
Well,
right. You
I
did
feel
it.
like the moment you're even gonna go and like register somewhere to like you're giving birth, be like, cool, you're gonna give birth here, and here's your like your automatic therapy sessions. Like just work through
Yeah.
some shit. Just work through some shit before you put your shit onto a new human being. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Like
it's just to protect the next generation.
let's give you scenarios of what's happened in your life and how you think that's okay.
So you're
Has
looking at Rookie's latest comment.
Rookie says it's real tough to get drunk and accidentally adopt a kid. You see? Because if not, that's exactly what happened. Michael Scott, remember that's the whole thing that happened in the office where Michael Scott's like, I want to adopt a kid. And he's like, it takes like 2 years. And he's like, I may not even want a kid by then. Like, that's a real fucking thing.
Yeah.
I think that we should do that for kids. You want to have kids organically? You want to fucking have kids? I think there should be a thing. Everybody
Yeah, I'm
gets
just saying.
until it's time to unsnip snap. Then we'll let you have
It
it.
would solve a lot of shit. It really would.
So many problems. Oh my god. And this is coming from a father of 3. I think I you know what I mean? And I like
Just automatic birth control for all until you decide you want to get off of it. And then you're like, I'm
Correct.
off.
No, not only decide.
This is probably like a really
There has to
horrible
be
beginning to a dystopian story, though. Like this is probably
it's not just you decide. It's like you decide and then there's a test. And you have to pass the test. And there's a
that's the
form.
thing. That's the beginning of a really, really like this dystopian YA novel. Like
Did we just write the new fucking Handmaid's
look
Tale?
at just genius idea after genius idea.
I'm giving you gold, baby. I'm giving you gold. I'm not even charging you the Patreon for this shit. I'm giving you fucking gold. Shout out to our Patreons, Rookie and Yolanda and anyways, all right. This girl is cray. She great. She cray.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
He needs to run. And you know the beautiful story, like the beautiful part of the story is he's just 22. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Just
but
cut
here's
it off now. Go.
because we can't comment, because we can't guess onto what else is happening. I hope that he is this level-headed at 20. I really hope that he's actually this level-headed. That he's just not making himself look better in the post. You get me?
Right.
If he really reacted this way, kudos to you, bro. And it's only making the bond between him and his brother, adopted brother, stronger. It's that right? Like, isn't that what he's doing? Isn't that what this whole situation is doing? Is like, dude,
Yeah,
you're my
it's
brother.
fun.
Like, yeah. He literally picked his brother over pussy. Like that's amazing. Good for you. At 22, shout out to
Yeah.
you, bro. Good for you. Congratulations. You made it, man. You made it. Um,
I'm glad he
uh,
just didn't let someone else's viewpoint like taint the situation.
yeah, especially somebody that has a vagina, dude.
But also, like, why
Because
did it? How did they get together? Like, how were they together for 2 years and this shit never came up?
because nobody in her life was thinking about adopting. And here's the thing, maybe it's one of those things where he just calls him his brother so much that he never even let it be known that he's adopted to her.
Yeah, but how does it like not talk about like when you talk about your past and your family and your history? Like, how does it not come up being like, oh yeah, when I was this age
Because
and when
yeah,
so
but
and so
maybe
like
it's
started
just
moved in with us and like it just makes me wonder like okay, because you know like when you're in your younger 20s, I don't know how this would work because they live with each other. But usually sometimes when you're dating someone for a very long time, but you're really only seeing them like, once, twice a week. Like you're not really spending all the time together. So you're
I'm a stage 5 clinger, so that never happened. Like I am that dude. I am that dude.
yeah. You're like the moment you get together and you're like, here's my social security.
Yep,
Here's
yeah.
my money. Here's
We
all
have
like
joint bank accounts now, and here's the code to my phone, and here's all that jazz. And you know what? I'm gonna drop you off at your house when we go out on dates. And even though you live a mile away from me, and only a mile away from me, after we spend all day together, I'm gonna drop you off, and then I'm gonna text you, "Hey, I miss you."
no.
That's just the way I am. I actually got told about that. That was a real. I mean, I was bringing that real shit in, but yeah, I had a girlfriend that lived a mile away, literally a mile, like a straight shot too. It wasn't even like fucking
Mhm.
mile, like it was a straight shot. And we spent all day together. Went to Sawgrass Mill, spent all day together.
Mhm.
Dropped her off. I got home. Took me all of 10 minutes, 5 minutes to get home. And then I texted her I missed her. She's like, "How can you miss me? You just spent all day with me." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, that doesn't take me that long to miss you." That was my response. So that relationship didn't work out.
I
Uh,
was about to say, I'm like, wow. like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if she was I don't know if she was like trying to fish for the like, but why do you miss me?
No,
You've
she
been with
was.
me
Oh
all
no,
day.
she's not that chick. No, no, she was not
Oh.
that woman. No, but for you, you know what? That's a good. Am I the asshole for fucking missing her like within 5 minutes? Is that am I the? I mean, but I will say, those are experiences that I had to go through to then not be a stage 5 clinger with my now wife. Like I was like, oh, okay, be cool, man. I was like one of the fucking sharks. Be cool. It was a jet. I'm
Please.
sorry. God damn it, it was a jet. So stupid. So stupid.
It's fine. Everyone dies. It's fine.
I just by the way, I finally saw the new West Side Story.
Isn't it such a downer at the end?
I like all of it though. It wasn't a downer.
It
I
was
mean, the
great.
original one wasn't a fucking wasn't an
No,
uplift
none of them were.
one.
But the entire time in my head as I'm watching it, because I know it's a remake, right? I'm like, I was joking around with my mom as we were watching it. I'm like, what if they changed the ending? Like, wouldn't it be nice? Because I'm like, I was telling her, I'm like, oh, it's nice watching this, but like, you always know how it's gonna end. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, the moment anything's a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, it's not a good time. Like,
Right.
it in the end, it's gonna be like, meh. And she didn't know it was a retelling. So the moment I told her that, she was like,
But she had not seen the original. Has she not seen the original? I feel like the original would have been right up your mom's alley because of the
I
time
don't
frame.
know if she ever had. I don't know. I don't think she ever had.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow,
The
interesting.
coincidence is like literally right before we were watching this, we were talking about like retellings of like Shakespeare stuff, and then and I was actually having a conversation with my dad about how growing up in America is like one of the reasons I always have like that weird thing of like sometimes outside people consider me a person of color and other people do not consider me a person of color. It's always my identity is so much dictated by what other people think. It's ridiculous.
Perceptions, yeah.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because like some people will be like, but you don't count as that, and I'm like, can everyone please stop telling me what the fuck I count as? Like,
Yeah,
I would like to just have my own identity, and I'm saying a lot of it is determined, like some of the way we view things, me and my parents' generations, is because they grew up in Colombia, which is a completely different way of viewing things. Where I grew up here in the U.S., where it's like I was fed into me all the time that like white people and Americans were like they were the white people, like they were the people in power, they were the ones telling us like how we should perceive each other. And my dad's like, yeah, but in Colombia we're white, and I'm like, yeah, but like at the same time, we're
So
everything there.
we're not here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to explain to him. I'm like, I know, but here we're not because of the way they view things, stuff like that. And he's like, because he's very the kind of person that he'll like sit there and like put his feet down and just be like, but no, this is the my identity. I'm like, that's the whole point. The whole point is for you to have your own identity, like, and like
Rookie
to be
says
like,
that he just tells people he's the opposite of whatever they are.
it's safe enough.
I'm
To go
the
you?
opposite.
Something else. Yeah,
It's always a
but,
weird
like,
question. 'Cause I get that a lot. I get the "What are you?" That's that's literally how they phrase it. What are you?
yeah. Oh yeah,
And
people
I
say to
am
him all the time
always
because you've heard my father speak. The man sounds like he just came here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's great.
yeah, there's no one that's seeing my dad being like, that's a white man. Like, no one. Like,
Yeah.
no one.
Well, but I love when they're trying to guess my exact heritage, right?
Oh yeah.
And so they will say like, "What are you?" And I'll be like, I purposely to be an asshole be like, "Human." And they're like, "No, you know what I mean." And I go, "A husband, a father, comedian, podcaster. What are we fucking talking about here? What do we get?" And I'm just making them sound as racist as humanly fucking possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just
No,
want to know which
like
ancestors of mine banged who? Like,
yeah, your parents, and I'm like, are still married. And I just do that, and until they give up, they fucking give up. And I go, Jesus Christ, you can like, I don't even mind you asking. Just find a good way of asking. Like, hey, what's your heritage? Where were you born? That's a good one.
yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
are you is a little weird.
What are you? Jesus, the fuck?
It's very, the
fucking
question
nuts?
is very
What am I,
like, hey,
a
you're
different
not
breed?
me.
Yeah, I'm a different species. I'm like, what are you? I'm like, well, it's created in a lab. And they figured they have $10 million and they could make the perfect fat comedian. I'm like, what the fuck? Take it easy, guy. Anyways, all right. Thank you for
They
checking us
made
out.
Gabriel Iglesias and then they tried again.
Yeah, they tried again and they were like, ooh. It's like when you make a copy of a copy. It's not that good. Thank you guys for checking us out. Make sure you check out the other podcasts on the Geek Bro Network that include, but are not limited to, Pero Let Me Tell You podcast with Ish, the aforementioned Ish, which taught me and now you about pornmd.com. So just for that reason, you should go check out that show. Cramacopia with Jeff and Q. Sorry.
Oh my god, Neri, as you were talking about this, I literally remembered why I brought up that whole conversation. This is why we need Mike.
Keep us on track, man.
This is why we need Mike. I just remembered that the reason I even brought that up is because I was going to say that West Side Story was great, but I've never heard the word "spick" said so many times in song. Like, in such a floral way where I'm just like, yeah, like it came on immediately as I was having this conversation with my dad. All of a sudden that popped up and I was like, see this shit?
That's us. That's what we are, Dad.
And it's done to rhythm.
That's what we are. And now I'm fucking dancing to it, motherfucker.
Fucking Steven Spielberg.
Damn you.
Making me feel things.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I gotta be honest with you. Very shallow reason for this comment. I did not like the actor that played Tony.
He was all right.
Just because he was ugly. I did not find him visibly.
He keeps getting cast in these like dreamy roles. Like the main guy, like the really.
And I wasn't a big what's his name? His friend grew on me.
Oh yeah.
His friend grew on me, but at first I was like, you gotta get rid of this fucking douche, man. This guy's a cancer on you. You gotta get rid of this fucking guy. But the actor that played this guy, I was like, no me gustó. No, I don't like it. You're not.
Yeah, I really want.
You're not good looking enough for the chick that's playing Maria. I'm sorry, the chick that's playing Maria is a 10, and you're like at 6 with the height. Like the height is bringing.
Really, I thought that the height would push him at least to like an 8.
No, the height brought him up to a 6. He's an ugly
no, the
dude.
height.
He's not a good
the height
dude.
plus dancing plus singing.
I said 6.
Really?
Start at 0.
He's not
He's
that
ugly as fuck. And then we give him 2 for acting. We give him 1 for acting, 2 for dancing, 1 for singing, and 1 for height.
Wasn't he the guy that a lot of people wanted to play Han Solo?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I would have been okay with him playing Han Solo because he didn't have this chick playing Maria like that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so it wasn't that you're like, oh, he's ugly. You were
no,
like,
he is ugly,
you
but
don't deserve her.
no, he's ugly, and because he's ugly, he doesn't deserve her. I think that guy's ugly. I think
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god, that sounds so shallow because he's ugly. He doesn't
I
deserve
think
her.
he's ugly. I'm sorry. Same thing goes for the guy that plays Kylo Ren. Whatever the fuck that guy's name is. I think that guy's an ugly guy. I'm sorry. I think he's not Adam Driver. I don't think he's attractive. I'm sure he's the nicest person, and from what I've read, he does amazing things with veterans.
There's
And
a
all.
certain mystique about him. I will give him. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
there's a certain mystique about him. There's a. I do understand that. I don't like. I'm telling you, the moment, the millisecond, I saw him like enter the screen when he was playing Kylo Ren, like the first time I ever saw his face, I'm like, Tumblr just exploded. I'm like, just like the internet just exploded with a bunch of people like in their heads being like, this is the guy who should have been young Snape.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can, but it looks like him. I can see that. I can see that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not against,
He's actually the right age.
Yeah, I'm not against like fan casting, but I just don't think he's attractive. It's a weird thing. Again, super shallow. I'm fully aware of this. I'm not by any means trying to make it seem as if what I'm saying is good. Yeah. Julie says the same thing. Women love Adam. I don't see it. I like the fact that she calls him Adam because she's on a first name basis with him. Fuck it.
My boy Adam. I tell him all the time, ugly as fuck.
My boy Adam. I tell him, dump that Eve, get with Steve. And
you're a better match because she's toxic. She doesn't think your siblings are real siblings.
Oh God. All right. Thank you guys for checking us out. Check out the podcast geekbro.net. Check out the other podcasts on the geekbro.net geekbro network. My website is naryscience.com or whatwashisname.com. I am constantly posting new reels, new comedy videos. So I sprinkle in some workout videos and sprinkle in some videos of my kids just so that you don't get tired of, but I'm doing all of it, bro. So go check that out. Like, share, repost, please. You don't share my shit though. How come you don't share my shit? Thank you guys for checking us out. And that's how winning is done.
With passive aggressiveness.